What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another random movie review channel. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Chase, and let's talk about one. And the movie I want to talk about is The Gray Man. Now, this one's actually playing on Netflix if you choose to watch this film, regardless of what I'm about to say. So, what is this movie about? When the CIA's most skilled operative, whose true identity is known to none accidentally, uncovers dark agency secrets, a psychopathic former colleague puts a bounty on his head, setting off a global manhunt by international assassins. Sounds pretty cool, right? Russo Brothers directing it, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Billy Bob Thornton. Like, come on, right? So going into it, I remember hearing about this in terms of like the Netflix slate for 2022. I was like, hey, listen, I love me some Ryan Gosling and seeing Chris Evans as the villain, and of course the Russo brothers. They can handle big budgeted movies as we saw from Infinity War and Endgame. So I was curious to know how they were going to do it because this was also a $200 million movie. So I was hoping to see every single cent on screen and justify that price tag. So I was curious. I'm not like the biggest, action genre person. I like a good action film every now and then. Like I'm a huge fan of like the John Wick franchise currently. And I like a lot of old school action films, but action is not my go-to genre. But I'm always willing to be open to trying out new ones. And so that's why I stumbled across this one because, this is a part of my little series where I'm catching up on movies that I missed throughout this year where I've heard a lot of things online, whether it be good or bad, and I just wanted to watch it and determine for myself. So all that going in, I think I saw a trailer once. The poster looks fine, I guess. And so after watching it, hi, it's me interrupting me, and I just wanted to take a break to thank the sponsor of this review, Movie Palette. Movie Palette takes the concept of the movie poster to the next level. Movie Palette consists of stripes of colors carefully chosen by their team of artists. Every stripe represents a color of a particular scene in a movie and is put in chronological order on the canvas. There are so many movies to pick from, and it doesn't even stop there. They also have whole seasons of TV shows. I recently moved and I needed some things to put on my wall, and I was getting tired of putting up traditional movie posters and wanting something different, and Movie Palette stepped up to the plate. The movie palette that I chose was one of my favorite movies of all time, Logan. This gorgeous palette is a constant reminder of how beautiful this film is and how each scene evokes a different emotion all through its language of color, not to mention a great conversation starter. This is a unique piece to any film and TV lover's home, and I want to help you get one. Use the discount code CHASE15 for 15% off of any product on their website. Film is art, so why not display your favorite as such? That's 15% off of your order when you use the code CHASE15. It's fine. It's one of those movies where it's kind of forgettable. I did not know that this is this based on a book? Let me just double check that. It is based on a book. I feel like the book is probably way more interesting than what this is. Does this make for a good story? It does. I feel like they didn't really tap into the character work of it. It was just more of like, here's this action spectacle, which is also fine. Also fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just felt like that was the main goal of this was to have each action set piece outdo the previous. And so the characters kind of get lost on me, and I don't feel as connected to them. I don't feel any weight to them whatsoever. I feel like I'm just watching these lifeless video game characters go from scene to scene, just, kicking ass and taking names. And I'm like, that's fine, but I want something there. Something just a little bit more tangible to grab onto. Are some of the action sequences cool? Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think I had more of an issue with like some of the compositing and kind of like green screen work that was associated with some of the scenes where you can definitely tell it's sticking out like a sore thumb. It wasn't blended in as well as it could. Other than that, like some of the action sequences were pretty awesome. It did deter away from it with some of the shaky cam, like the airplane sequence in this film. I thought on paper, concept wise, pretty cool. Camera's moving around too much, and I'm like, I get it that this would be a chaotic situation and winds going around everywhere. You need to make it look realistic, but as an audience member, I can't really see what's going on. And so it's stuff like that that kind of annoy me because I'm like, well, if you're going to be like this action spectacle type of film, try it a little harder. That's all I'm saying. And so, you know, from an action standpoint, I think it works sometimes. Some of the VFX for work little janky, but you know, so some of them were fun and creative, and I can at least give them that. As far as actual story goes, like I said, the story is intriguing at first, but it's kind of lost on me. And by the 2 hour mark, I was kind of just done with it. I was exhausted because they were so action focused that when some of the action scenes are not really hitting for me, and that's kind of dragging for me, that 2 hour runtime is going to seem like a 4 hour movie. So I think there's like some pacing issues as well. And so, because I was like checking the time every so often, I was like, man, this is just there's something off about the pacing. But yeah, the story sounds interesting on paper, but I just felt like it got lost a little bit. Characters get lost a little bit. So could there be an offset and have the performances be at least good? That way, it kind of elevates it just a little bit. I think everyone's fine. I love Ryan Gosling. I thought he was sleepwalking through this. Chris Evans was the only one I think having like any type of fun with this. Because at least he was giving it his all. He's supposed to play like this psychopathic former colleague. I thought he did a pretty good job. Ana de Armas, barely in it. She's fine. Billy Bob Thornton, he's got a couple scenes. They're fine. I think everyone just does a fine job. And Chris Evans would probably be the MVP for me just because, like, if you're going to go full camp with it, that's fine. He was doing that and, like, it made it a little bit more enjoyable to watch. But, everything else was just like, it's fine. It's serviceable. As far as like cinematography and VFX work and like all that stuff goes, it's serviceable. Like there's definitely scope there because they go to like 100,000 different countries. So the scope is there, and I felt like this was a worldwide cat and mouse game, so that was kind of cool to add to the atmosphere. But that's about it. Everything's fine. Like I don't know what else more to say. I felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities here to where you can have like this big budgeted action film and have some great character work, have a great investive story that you can sink your teeth into. I just never felt it with this one. And while some of the action sequences were creative and cool and bombastic, everything else was a little lackluster. And it's like, well, if you're gonna make it, action forward, at least I expect that to be like going on all cylinders. So yeah, The Gray Man's not really for me. It's a fine movie, but it's not like anything I want to ever rewatch. And I know they're going to be making the Gray Man universe, so we'll just see how that turns out. So that will do it for this review, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please let me know down below what you thought of The Gray Man. Liked it, loved it, hated it, all that stuff. I would like to know your thoughts. But thank you for stopping by this random movie review channel. I'm Chase, and I guess I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye-bye.